a tale as old as time. Maybe it's really just a tale as old as like 2013, maybe 2009, depending on who you're asking. Does torrefaction, thermocured, baking, acoustic guitar tops, does it make them sound old? So in the last video, I featured the Orangewood Hudson with a torrefied Sitka spruce top, this roasty toasty top. This guitar does sound like a cannon, but it begs the question, does torrefaction actually make a guitar sound old? So this video is sponsored by Orangewood. They sent me this guitar for free. I'll have a link for it in the description below. This is a very cool guitar. And what I want to do is, I want to hold it against a Huss and Dalton. Now this isn't very old. We'll get to that in a second. At first, I want to hold the Orangewood, which is a torrefied Sitka spruce top, mahogany back and sides. I want to hold that against a 2009 Huss and Dalton TDM. Also, it has mahogany back and sides in the same beautiful regard as this Hudson. And the third guitar for our discussion of what makes a guitar sound old and does torrefaction actually work is this, my 1970 Martin D41. So this guitar is a Sitka spruce top. This is quite old. This is a 41-year-old guitar, and it has earned every bit of this golden finish on the top. This guitar has been around, has been played for a long time. Now, the only unfair advantage this guitar has is that this guitar does have East Indian rosewood back and sides, and that's why I didn't want to do a shootout just against the Orangewood versus a 1970 Martin, because yes, they are, one has an older top, one has a new top that is synthetically aged, but they have very different tone woods on the back and sides. So here's what's about to happen. There are going to be 3 guitars. They're going to be shot out over 4 different styles of music. You won't see the guitars, but you will let your ears be your guide, because more often than not, by the time you see this headstock, your brain says, oh, this is a good sounding guitar. And by the time you see this headstock, you're like, oh, it's the affordable option. But I guarantee a lot of you are going to be wrong in picking this out with your ears. So use your ears and really pay attention. Now, the main questions you want to ask are, which one actually sounds old? But also, which one sounds the best to you? And then the third question is, did you actually get these right? There will be a great grand reveal at the end. Rest assured, they are all restrung with the same strings. They all have D'Addario, the coded EXP 16s. In case you missed it, there was another video before this that talked about torrefaction. I'll put a card right here. That was also sponsored by Orangewood. It's where it really features this Hudson in all of its glory. Torrefaction is the physical process of synthetically aging wood by exposing it to high heat under a vacuum. And so, with that, there's a whole other video. You should go watch that video. But it arrives us at this point. Did one of these guitars sound completely older than the rest, or did they sound more similar? Were you surprised at how they sounded, or were you pretty much dead on? Guitar number 1 was the Huss and Dalton. Guitar number 2 was the Hudson from Orangewood. Guitar number 3 was my Martin D41 from 1970. Did you get it right? Did you get them wrong? Were you surprised? What was the most shocking thing? Sitting here in the room, it's very interesting. They are 3 very different guitars, but there were 2 that were quite similar sounding. The one that I could tell right away, I just knew was different because it had so much more bass, it wasn't as shimmery on the high end, was the Martin D41. Great guitar, very cool, but just is a different tonal profile than the other 2. There were 2 guitars, the Huss and Dalton and the Orangewood, both felt and sounded very similar, and it was really cool. They feel very light, very shimmery. They feel very airy and responsive. And for the Huss and Dalton, it has been aged. You know, this guitar isn't exceptionally old. It's 11 years old, but the top really has mellowed and it's really become golden. And I think a lot of what happens in the torrefaction process has already happened to that guitar just naturally. One thing that became really clear is that the Orangewood came to play. This guitar is really, really impressive for what it is. If I was blindfolded, and I think if someone else was playing the guitar, it would be very hard for me to really tell which the difference between the Huss and Dalton and the Orangewood is. When I was playing them, I know the difference because Huss and Dalton, I mean, it is a full-blown, top-of-the-line boutique acoustic guitar made in the US. It's a very unfair comparison. But the Orangewood, everything about it just feels right, and the fit is really good. One of the things that's the most impressive about this guitar is just they have captured a thing that import guitars never seem to get right. It has full bass. The bass notes are present, and they're just as loud as the highs. It doesn't feel overly jangly or high. This guitar... the closest comparison that I have, and this is a deep compliment to Orangewood, this guitar sounds and feels like a Larrivee DO3 that I had a couple years ago, which is an astounding guitar. They're very similar both in the satin finish, the materials, the spruce and the mahogany, and the neck profile. Everything about this Orangewood really feels in line with that Larrivee, and those Larrivees used sell for $1,200. This Orangewood, brand new, is $695. To me, I think that the Orangewood is a winner. So, how did you do? Tell me about it in the comments below. Did you get them right? Did you get them wrong? Were you totally surprised? Did you totally know which one was the Martin? Which, I'll tell you a hint now that I didn't tell you earlier. The Martin needs a neck reset. So there are going to be some notes that I missed, and there's going to be some things that you'll hear that the action was just high and the guitar was either, the intonation was off, some things were out of tune. C'est la vie with old guitars. If you buy an old guitar, it's going to sound and feel and play like an old guitar. Some of those things are great, and some of them are a little tricky. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeremy. I'm the Guitar Hunter. Make sure you hit that like button down below. Make sure you're subscribed. If you really love this channel and want to make sure these videos keep happening, if this is helpful to your guitar journey, you can become a patron. Patrons.com, $3 a month, and you get early access to videos. You get cool Q&As with me. Then there are tiers above that. If you want, also go to jeremytheguitarhunter.com/shop. In the shop, you'll find coffee, which is awesome, from my dear friends at Broad Porch Coffee. You can buy it through me. I'll write you a note. I'll get it sent to you. You'll have roasty, toasty, delicious Brazilian roastwood coffee. You can also buy t-shirts. You can buy merch. There's a buyer's guide that is a helpful tool if you're looking to buy a guitar in 2021. So, thanks for watching this video. I hope you are great. Go fill the world with music and friendship.